Everything will be more difficult in SHTF. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. Right now we're in the easy times, even if it is more difficult than it used to be. Why do I say that everything will be more difficult in SHTF? Well, think about how much different life would be if the grid was down. How much different life would be if the on-demand trucks weren't bringing food to the stores. Our on-demand food system, if it failed, think about how much more difficult life would be. You'd have to get into, hopefully, you won't have to get into your emergency fund, which is your food storage and water storage. Hopefully, you'll be doing stuff like this, producing and eating from your working pantry. I advocate a working pantry, which is where you rotate your food storage out of. Whenever you get new food storage, you take it to your food storage location, you put it in the back, you slide everything forward, the stuff doesn't fit on the shelf anymore, you bring into your working pantry, and you eat from that. And you eat this stuff that you grow and you produce your animals, your garden, all those kind of things. Let me adjust this a little bit, there we go. Everything in a big situation like that is going to be more physically demanding. It's not just going to be you're not going to be sitting at a desk job anymore. You're not going to have to commute. Some things will be easier, but a lot of things will be more difficult. If it's complete and utter chaos, collapse, end of the world as we know it, those kind of things without rule of law, then yeah, you won't have to worry about paying your mortgage, paying bills, because there won't be any structure. It'll be a complete collapse scenario. You won't have to worry about going to work. You won't have to worry about getting up and shaving and putting on your suit or whatever it is, getting into your car, going to work. I get it. But what are you going to what are you going to contend with? In that situation, if you're doing this, great. If you're raising your own animals, great. If not, you got to do it. You're going to have to do it right off the bat. What else are you going to have to do? You're going to have to set security 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. Can you do that? Do you have a group? I hope you do. Do you have friends, neighbors, at least a community that you can secure a certain area? Do you have training to do so? That kind of stuff we talk about Patreon, along with a lot of other stuff. Broad range of topics there. But if we are talking about security-related tactical stuff, it's on Patreon, which links in the description below. So if you want to check it out, it's $1 a month. Well worth it. Hundreds of videos there. You can binge watch for a long time there. Anyway, we're talking about here and now. So, you're going to be so many things. You're going to have so much to do. I'm going to have so much to do. That's why we need to do the easy stuff now. Work on your fitness now. Work on your preps now. Grow your food now. Raise your animals now. Work on your skills now. Learn how to do things. You don't want to learn how to use that Gucci piece of gear that you got, or just any piece of gear that you got. You don't want to have to learn that when your life's depending on it. You got to figure it out now. You got to be using your gear. You got to be doing things like starting campfires. If you have a place to start a campfire in the front yard. If not, go camping. Camping is a great way to learn and to practice a lot of prep-related skills. Setting up your shelter. Practice setting up different kinds of shelters. Maybe trying to find water sources. Foraging for wild edibles you might be able to do in your campsite, depending on where you're camping, what it's like there. Starting fires, hopefully you're able to start a fire in your campsite. I know there's some places you can't. This is all AO dependent, your area of operations, where you live. We're all in different areas. Hiking, backpacking, there's so many different things. If there's fishing, you can practice fishing, practice different types of fishing. There's ones with a little reel thing that you can, I forget what they're called, that you can fish without actually being there with little bells on it and stuff like that that'll ring if there's a fish on. That makes more efficient use of your time. Try to find things like that. Trapping and snaring is another way to hunt without going out there and spending all the time hunting, because there's going to be so much more demanded of you. There's going to be so many more things on your plate. We're going to have to figure out ways to minimize the use of our time, to do more automated type things, but old school automation. So how are we going to do that? Also, division of labor. This is why I talk about empowering your children, uplifting your children, teaching them, teaching them how to get stuff done, how to do things, how to be competent members of your family so that they can do more, so they can help out. You'd be amazed at what your children can do if you don't already push them. I'm not saying be mean or push them too hard, but I'm saying push them appropriately, teach them appropriate level skills, and you'd be surprised how much help they can be. Your mags, your teams, your tribes, very important. That's division of labor. Hey, I'll be the gardener. Okay, I'll garden. But it's not just that. I got to garden, but I also got to pull security, right? Also, and I need to shower, and I need to eat, and I maybe need to help gathering some stuff. I may need to help on constructing some new defenses or a new structure for people to stay in. There's so many different things. You're going to be pulled in so many different ways. What about sanitation without power? You're going to have to dig outhouses or dig latrines, all these kind of things. That takes labor. That takes time. Weeding these, watering these, planting these, harvesting these, singing to these takes time. Taking care of your animals takes time. There's so many different things. So I want to encourage you guys to do as much as you can now. Have as many of these things knocked out as possible so that life is easier. Because right now we're in the good times. We got time to do it. We can make time to do it. We got to make things a priority. We got to prioritize. Like I've been saying lately, there's this cloud overhead that's getting closer and closer. This weight is getting heavier. Something. I don't know what it is, but I had this overwhelming feeling something's going down. And I know you guys talked about in the comments also. A lot of people feel the same way. I hope I'm getting through to you guys how much there is going to be to do. Think about the things in your daily life. Look around. What are you doing? How are you doing them? Are you going to be able to cook on your cooktop? Is it electric or is it gas? Mine's gas. So all I got to do is with a lighter, light it. Turn the gas on, light it. Bam. I can still cook just as like normal. I can't bake because mine's a dual fuel oven. It's an electric oven. But there's other things. There's Dutch oven baking and cooking. There's wood stove. We have a wood stove also. There's a top on it. There's plenty of cooking space as well as you could bake inside. But that's a learned skill. And I'm not saying I learned that skill. I'm not a baker. My wife is. But I don't know. She's not really up to great speed on that either. That would be a learning curve. But like I said, you can bake things on the stovetop. You got to make do. You're going to have to, cooking, fairly easy. But have you cooked over a campfire? Over a Coleman stove? Over a rocket stove? Over a, you name it, source of heat? Maybe it's a sterno, whatever. Camp stove. Have you done it? Do you even know how to cook? I hope you do. Cooking is a skill that fewer and fewer people have nowadays. People don't even know how to cook. But, are you cooking with cast iron? I cook almost everything on cast iron because I love it and because I can use that cast iron on my wood stove. I can use it on my stovetop. I can use it on a campfire. I can use it on my cook stoves. I can use it anywhere. And it'll last forever. So get cast iron. That's one thing. Get cast iron. But there's so many different things to do. Think about everything, like I said, in your life. Write them all down. Write down everything that needs to happen on a daily basis for like a week. Like I said, write down everything you touch in a week. Do this. Write down everything you have to do in a week and the frequency of it and how long it takes you now to do it. And then add at least 50%, maybe even double the time, probably double the time. Because you can't just turn on the burner, even if you can turn on, you can't just turn on the burner, put your pan down and start cooking in a couple seconds. You got to start the fire, which takes twice as long, build a bed of coals, etc., etc., etc. You got to be thinking about things like this. Everything is going to take longer. So write down everything you do and figure out, okay, just double all the times. And then figure out, okay, how many hours do I have in a day? Oh yeah, then there's security. Oh yeah, then there's foraging. Oh yeah, then there's hunting, fishing, gathering, taking care of people that are injured because they're out doing more things. So more injuries are going to happen. Do you have the capability of taking care of them? Do you have the medical supplies you need? You know, how are you doing on a 91% alcohol or gauze? Anybody seen a traumatic injury? You're going to go through a lot of gauze. Double, triple, quadruple, times 10 the amount of gauze you have right now. That might be sufficient. Unless you got a lot. That's one of those things you need a lot of, gauze. Boo-boo kits, yeah, all the things. But this is just a thought process. And a lot of prepping is mental. It's our mental ability to think through problems, to mitigate deficiencies, to strengthen our weaknesses, and having the ability to be flexible, a dynamic thinker, somebody that can think through complex problems quickly and effectively. It's not just coming up with a quick answer. It's got to be a good answer, and it has to be quick. Anybody been in combat? Military? Right? Quick thinking. You got to do it or you're dead in a lot of situations. Maybe not all situations, but yeah. You got to react quick, and this is where training comes in. Training is the key because you get that muscle memory. If you do stuff enough repetitions, enough times, it will become muscle memory. So your body will react more appropriately in these dynamic situations if you have the proper training, if you have the proper skill sets, if you get out and do these things, not just sit here and watch YouTube, other than my channel, of course, and all the other good prepper channels. Yeah, don't just sit on Amazon and order yourself stuff. Use it, get to know it, practice it a lot, as much as you possibly can. As much time as you can dedicate to prepping, do it. You will be rewarded. It's a lifestyle. One of the things I haven't mentioned in a while is you got to make prepping fun. Make it fun. Like I talked about, suture. I talked in today's prep of the day, suture. Practice suturing. Gardening is fun with the kids. Hunting is fun with the kids. Fishing is fun with the kids. Foraging is fun with the kids. Canning, if you have a freeze dryer. I don't, but my friends do. Dehydrating can be fun with the kids. So many different activities can be fun. Make it fun. Backpacking, hiking, bicycling, all these things can be related to prepping. But we got to make it fun. If not, we'll get burned out, we'll just get frustrated, and we won't be able to stay the course. And I want you guys to stay the course. I want you guys to be in the asset column, not the liability column, because I care about you, and I want more and more people there in the asset column. Because then there'll be fewer people coming for yours and my stuff, right? Because their families are starving. I've said many times before, big event, people are going to have starving families. They're going to be out there trying to feed their families any way they can. There will not be any more liberals or conservatives. There won't. There won't be any more politics. Will there be politics on smaller scales? You know, it won't be that. It'll be about, can I feed my family? There'll be starving people out there. They won't care about what your politics are or who you like or who you don't like. It's going to go back to the basics. Life will go back to the basics. It'll all be about feeding your family. That's why I don't care if you disagree with me politically. It's okay. I disagree with a lot of people politically. I get along with a lot of people politically. Politics have nothing to do with prepping. Prepping is about having your ability to survive and thrive in a situation and to not be out there being a threat to others and not worrying about feeding your family. I want to empower and uplift everyone. I want to get through to everybody, as many people as we can. Speaking of which, we're getting very close to 20,000 subscribers. That's amazing. Thank you guys so much. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Please comment below. Please share the videos. You guys are awesome. This is a fun journey, and it's going to get a lot more fun because throughout a process that we got upcoming, I'm going to be able to show you a lot more stuff, and prepping really will be and homesteading will pretty much be our 100% activity for life. So prep a little every day, and remember, prepping is living insurance. I love you guys, and blessings to you and yours.